Hello everyone! In this video, we've distilled strategies and techniques to help you win more of your PvP matches into a quick video guide. Some of them are a little tough to pull off, but once you get the timing down, you'll be able to use them no problem. Be sure to practice lots while you watch this video. Alright, let's dive right in. You need a full Vanishing Gauge in order to perform a Vanishing Step and evade enemy attacks. Without it, your opponent has free reign to launch attack and even start a combo. So in Legends, you're at a serious disadvantage whenever your Vanishing Gauge isn't full. It's fair to say that for PvP, figuring out how to reduce the amount of time you spend without a full gauge will directly impact your win rate. First, try to always be aware of your Vanishing Gauge. When you switch characters, the Vanishing Gauge will be restored. If your gauge isn't full, then you can switch characters to give yourself the option to dodge an enemy attack. Of course, in a situation where you can't switch characters, this method won't be available to you. You need to be aware of your team's sub counts and try to always be in a position where you have an ally available to switch out to. Note that if your character has the element advantage, then taking the attack instead of switching out can also be a good choice. Since good management of your Vanishing Gauge can mean the difference between victory and defeat in Legends, you'll want to avoid wasting it. A particularly wasteful example is using a Vanishing Step to avoid tap shots. Actually, tap shots are a good way to trick your opponent into wasting their Vanishing Gauge, but be careful not to fall into that trap yourself. Tap shots can be avoided simply by moving side to side. Be sure to practice evading them without using a Vanishing Step. Landing a Rising Rush can deal tons of damage to an enemy and create an opportunity for a big comeback. So it goes without saying that if you miss, you'll be in a very bad position. Try to use Rising Rush when your opponent is unable to evade it. Usually, this means using it during a combo. Except for characters with a special cover change that lets them completely evade specific attacks, you'll be guaranteed to land your Rising Rush. It can also be good to launch a Rising Rush when your opponent does not have a full Vanishing Gauge. However, if they can still switch characters, they may attempt to switch and evade your Rising Rush with a Vanishing Step. Once a character returns to standby, they usually have to wait about 10 seconds before they can be brought back in. So it's important to think about whether your opponent has characters they can switch in. Note that there are characters like Majin Ku or Ultra Instinct Goku who have the ability to restore the Vanishing Gauge. Be careful of characters who can do this. Another strategy is to launch a Rising Rush when your opponent fires a Blast Arts. If you're a little too late though, your opponent might still be able to evade, so watch out. Actually, a tap attack can be comprised of up to 3 inputs. This is if you tap once, this is twice, and this is all 3. Many players may keep tapping the screen repeatedly in order to get in all 3 inputs, but actually, this can leave you wide open. If your opponent evades, you're in for a nasty counter-attack. So rather than tap repeatedly, you should tap 3 times only with the correct timing. When you are only doing 3 specific taps, then even if your tap attack gets evaded, you'll be able to respond to that evasion with an attack, a dodge of your own, or even a Rising Rush. Make sure you master this technique. If you flick left or right after using a Strike Art, you can cancel your attack partway through. This acts as a feint that can trick your opponent into attacking. It's also an effective way to collect Dragon Balls. Similarly, you can cancel Blast Arts in order to eliminate the recovery period that would otherwise make you vulnerable to counterattack. It's simple to perform. Flick up just before the Blast Arts animation ends. It can be hard at first to get used to the timing, but once you do, you'll be able to pull it off with ease. Be sure to spend some time mastering it. You'll have a number of options after performing a Blast Arts cancel, such as using a tap attack to pressure your opponent, evading, or even launching a Rising Rush. Next, we have what's called a side step combo. This is the fundamental combo after using a Strike Arts. After using a strike art, simply dash forward and then swipe right or left. From there, you can combo into a strike or blast arts. This combo has 3 major advantages. First, it can help prevent an opponent's special cover change. Since you are closing the distance to your opponent, it will be harder for them to tell which attack you've picked, which, in turn, makes it harder for them to successfully choose the correct special cover change. Second, your Vanishing Gauge will be restored slightly while you are stepping. Considering how important the Vanishing Gauge can be to the outcome of a battle, being able to restore it even a bit is a pretty huge benefit. Lastly, this combo extends the duration of your arts combos, which can give you enough time to draw even more arts. Despite being relatively simple, this combo has major benefits. You'll definitely want to spend some time learning it. This next combo is often called a charge step combo. It can only be started from a blast arts at close range. After using a blast arts, dash forward, charge key, and then use a strike or blast arts. It should feel like you're doing the inputs slightly before they actually occur on screen. The greatest benefit of this combo is it allows you to recover a lot of ki. Similar to a sidestep combo, another benefit is that it extends your arts combos, buying time for you to draw more cards. It may take a while to get used to, but you'll definitely want to master this combo since it offers such great benefits. There are actually several stages to charging ki, and to succeed with this charge step combo, you can only go up to the second stage. If you charge up to third stage, you won't be able to connect the combo. Practice until you get used to stopping at the second stage. Alright, what did you all think? Some of those techniques might seem a little hard, but if you're able to master them, you're sure to win a lot more PvP matches. Practice makes perfect. We hope the tips and technique in this video help you enjoy PvP even more.